The subject of deportation, TPS, and the Haitians returning back to their native land has been a subject of great debate online, and it's taking a twist, a turn, and you don't really even know where this whole debate is going on because the Haitians are refusing to let the FBAs out, easily, letting them off the hook, and they're saying any you guys are claiming you are foundational black Americans and you are from Africa. And I don't understand the whole basis of the argument, but I know that anyone has the right to claim to be a citizen or a dweller of where they are. And if you do great historical research, you'll find out that everyone who is where they are today, we are actually settlers. And so we just look at a couple of videos, all credit to original content creators. So let's know what their opinions are, and you can, speak for yourself.
Not y'all lying on your DNA results. And it's crazy because y'all say DNA is fake, but then when you got something you think you can use to change your history, now all of a sudden you want to believe DNA. This is not your origins. This is your journey. And the only thing the journey does on Ancestry is just tells you where your ancestors lived in the recent past. This does not mean my origins started in America. This is my mom, says Haiti. This is my dad, United States. These are my DNA results. You see how they say Africa? Okay. Stop coming on this app and lying and spreading false information. African Americans / Black Americans, whatever you want to go by, we're not from America. Our origins started in Africa. That's it.
Y'all see how they use things when it's convenient, right? Y'all see how they're like, I got you, the confirmation bias. But they be the main ones yelling out from the rooftops, take the DNA test, do the DNA, do the DNA. So for people that actually did the DNA, now that they're seeing that they are native to North America, the United States of America, now y'all are going harder than the paint to prove that that's just where your recent ancestors were. Why are Black Americans the only people expected to time travel 15,000 years back in the past? Why we got to get in the DeLorean? Why we got to get in the hot tub time machine and go back 50,000 years ago? They ain't doing this to nobody else. Y'all let Native Americans be Native American. Y'all don't say, y'all calling us pretendians, but when we Google pretendian, and I'm saying us because, baby, I don't tell y'all about my genealogy, but I got whatever. But y'all literally only do this to Black Americans. It's pathetic and it's disgusting. And it's disrespectful. Because who is this Haitian woman? She claiming she bi-ethnic. I don't know. These people lie so goddamn much. But who are you? Your mother's Haitian. Who are you to tell people who they are? I think it's deplorable. At the end of the day, if you have recent ancestry from the United States of America, you are American. So for her to end her funky video, her funky ass video, or something like Black African Americans, Black Americans, we are not from America. Bitch, so if you have ancestors that were born here and buried here, we got to go back 10,000 years. And then to say, see, look, I come from Africa. Africans don't even mix within tribes like that. So how in the fuck you come from Congo, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Ghana? These places weren't even called that 60 years ago. Ugh. It gets to a point. How can you be so many different ethnicities? And how can your family be from so many different countries? Does that even logically make sense? In 2026, those people, they don't even like each other. Nigerians are getting kicked out of every goddamn, but the Ghanaians are in the streets picketing to get the Nigerians up out of their country. The East Africans don't even claim to be African. They call themselves Arab and all types of shit going on. Yet you, as a Haitian American, are from 25 different countries on the continent of Africa. Look, I'm not here to tell anybody who they are, but they keep doing it to us. They constantly expecting us to prove our ancestry and to prove like our origin story. Nobody else has these requirements but Black Americans from the United States of America. And you have to ask yourself, why does everybody go so hard to force us to claim something? It only takes between 7 and 10 generations for you to be completely different genetically. So at the end of the day, even if it's recent, you're from that landmass. What the fuck do they want? What you really want from a nigga? Really? Somebody let me know! What do they want? Something is not right. Because 1 + 1 is 2. Anyways, what y'all think about this? Like, I think this is just very ironic. Very ironic that they scream, take the DNA test, and then when the people take the DNA test and they're getting results of being from the southern eastern region of the United States of America, then they saying, oh, that's a lie. We got to move the goalposts. We got to move the goalposts because this is not feeding into what we've been saying. Isn't that ironic? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I personally feel like because a lot of people are doing their genealogy, they're tracing their things the right way, and something is about to blow because everybody's too up in arms about how we identify and where we actually come from. Some hard truths are being uncovered, and now Ancestry is getting on board to cover their tracks. If you know, you know. What y'all think about this? Spread love in the comments. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Sound off in the comments. Child, I gotta let you.
I was today years old when I found out that some people believe that the transatlantic slave trade was a hoax. Like, there's people out there that think that it was impossible to sail across the Atlantic. I'm literally putting this here because I can't believe, like, my own eyes couldn't believe it at first. Some people think that there were indigenous Black people in the Americas. Children were left behind.
First and foremost, I'm still trying to figure out why people that aren't foundational Black Americans, why do they care so much about how we identify or what we believe to be true about our lineage and our history? Second of all, if we did believe the indoctrinated version of history that was given to us by colonizers that literally oppressed you, redlined you, hung you, ate you, raped you, paper genocided you, renamed and reclassified you in this country multiple times, stole your land. We're not talking about slavery. I'm talking about in the 1900s. We had land all over this country. Flooded you out, dropped bombs on you. Like, why would they tell you the actual truth about your history? So they really came over here. They really went to West Africa where they have animal gangs. Them motherfuckers is taming hyenas. Okay? They got wild animals. They walking around with snakes. They dangerous in some of those African countries, okay? They say we came from West Africa. Look up the animal gangs out there. A lot of them don't play. And they said that's passed down from generation to generation. They was just over there. A bunch of frail, pale-skinned men was just able to go over there before automatic powers was invented and round up hundreds of Africans without any resistance and put them on a boat for 3 to 4 months. Barely any food. Chain them together. Barely any clear, clean, fresh water. First of all, coming into contact with them would wipe you out because of disease. So y'all was on a boat in an enclosed space for months. Hundreds of times this happened. Before a motor was invented for a boat. Do you know that if you were laying down, you right now, present day that's watching this, for 7 days straight without any mobility, you would need rehabilitation? Your muscles, it would start to decline. So those people was on those boats chained up with heavy metal chains for months, and they just got up and was plowing and tending to fields that they had no idea. They didn't know anything about the landmass over here. Y'all really believe that? I never said that the slave trade didn't happen, but the way that it was told to us, no, a lot of us were already here. It is what it is. You can believe what you want. Just do some research, read some books. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. And stop being from another country, continent, and trying to tell us who we are. Even if you want to go by the indoctrinated version of history, we've been here for like 500 years based off of what the white man told us. How many generations does it take for you to be from a place? Like, come on, relax, pipe down, mind your business.
So the only thing that makes Black Americans in the United States different than Black Americans that are Haitians is that they won their freedom. They won your freedom as well. But it's clear that from the cutoff that
You won the battle but lost the war. The white tee came back in 1825. You only had 21 years of freedom, and after that, it's been destabilization ever since, from the governments, from the gold being taken out, and everything. This is why you rubbing shoulders next to us, the United States of America. Black Americans have been free and have free communities way before 1804. Hundreds of thousands of free people to color. The siege of Savannah was never about helping Black Americans. It was only about making the white tee look at them and recognize them. So they put their body at the forefront and became body bags to help them get away the white tee French, just so they could be recognized by the white tee. Dessalines was unalive in the most terrible way ever, right? People brag about him, but they assassinated him, chopped his body up, and fed him to the dogs. Jean Baptiste, who found Chicago, was nothing but the white tee tool who helped white tee expansion because they couldn't defeat the American Indians, the dark American Indians. So they used somebody that looked like them to help expand white tee expansion and expand them westward. Unlike a lot of people, we have ethnic and cultural pride, so we're never going to say if it wasn't for Black Americans, there would be no Haitian Revolution. But when you, for some reason, you guys like to say if it wasn't for Haitian Revolution, nobody would fight, and you are the only quote-unquote free Black nation. But here's Black Americans that went and helped during the Haitian Revolutions. It was fighting side by side. Anything that Haiti do was always for his best interest and his self-interest. It was never about helping everybody. It was never about freeing everybody and being the leader and liberation for all. It was about being a leader and liberation for itself. Haitian Revolution was always about itself. This is why Toussaint signed an agreement with white tee Moultrie, Thomas Moultrie, to not intervene with the white tee and what they're doing in Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and multiple countries. And so what they did was sign this agreement, which means if they didn't sign this agreement, Jamaica wouldn't have its independence in 1962. They would have had their independence in the 1800s alongside the Haitian revolutions, but they worked with the white tee to continue to allow the white tee to devastate and economically undermine Jamaica. But it wasn't just Toussaint, it was also John Dessalines, who also signed with the white tee and made deals not to intervene or have any rebellion against the white tee, and allowed them to run rampant in Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and all these different places. Look up the deals and the diplomatic agreements that they had with the white tee. So like I said in the beginning, they won the battle but lost the war because they was going against multiple European nations at the time during that battle in 1804. But this is why in 1825, when they came back with their naval ships and their big boom booms, they didn't have no European nation they're fighting against. Now it's just mano y mano, Haitians versus white tee, and the Haitians gave it up. So when they say if it wasn't for the Haitians, then there would be no Louisiana Purchase, well, that's not really accurate, right? Because they was going against many European nations. And in that sense, we could say, well, if it wasn't for the European nations, there'd be no Louisiana Purchase. But we're not going to sit there and act like the Louisiana Purchase was a good thing. All that did was white tee expansion. That's all that did. More enslavement and white tee expansion westward, right? So the Louisiana Purchase wasn't really a good thing. Now, I'm not here to disrespect nobody. I'm not here to get angry, but I'm starting to see a lot of disrespect. And y'all know I don't have no problem with no Haitians personally, but I've been seeing a lot of Haitians go online, especially on this video that I'm showing you, where they're talking about getting deported in TPS, and we have Haitians making comments about us as if we are physically doing things to them. They're more mad at the perception and the things that we're saying in our country that we have the right to say than actual systems in place that's kicking them out and doing things. More angry with us than the 5% of the mulattoes and the white tee that own all the money and the resources in their country. So I find it really interesting that us saying things is more powerful than actual physical harm being done. So I just want to clear some real facts with this Haitian Revolution thing. I'm tired of people disrespecting and making it look like Black Americans didn't have 100,000 free peoples of color, people that was already free before 1804, that like we wasn't fighting in the 1526 slave revolt, right? The New York slave revolt in the 1700s, the Gullah Wars, the Seminole Wars, right? Stonewall Rebellion, multiple wars we was fighting and winning, and we was walking around free with pew-pews and everything. This is what the Stonewall Rebellion is about, right? And they act like we twiddled our fingers and sat back and did like this and said, oh shit, some Haitians are fighting, let's start fighting. after 200, 300, 400 plus years. So I just want to kind of clear some history up because there's a lot of fake history going on. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Let me know what y'all think.
What's your problem? You realize that you treat your slave masters that have enslaved you for centuries better than you're now treating the Haitians. Why are you so mad at them? Because they came here and they work hard to achieve the things that they have while you lazy fucks sat on the farewell welfare system because your grandmother, mama, and everybody else was brought up on it. The people, just want to know.
So sis went on a really hostile rant in her full clip, which was almost 5 minutes. I only took like a little bit of that segment because that's really the gist of what she's trying to say. But let me just respond very quickly. I understand that you're emotional. I understand that this is a tough situation to be in. I understand that there's probably some people making trolling comments and saying things that are inappropriate. But this concept that Black Americans are just living on welfare is just a fallacy. I mean, I just looked up Google and 53% of Haitians are living on a major government assistance program to this very day. So we're 50% of our population is not on welfare, right? So, I'm not really sure where this jealousy is that you think that we have for you, and that goes for any migrant population. I don't really know. You don't have anything that we want. You don't have anything that we can't get. Okay. If you really want to flex, then the real flex will be fixing your country. The real flex will be, since you have your own plot of land that is really for you, to actually fix that and actually make that into a paradise for you and your people. Right. The real flex is not leaving your shit and then coming to somebody else's shit and trying to make a life in somebody else's shit that was already built up and that's already set up for you to succeed in whatever way you see fit. Okay, that's not really a flex. We're at home. This is our home. So whatever the hell we choose to do while in our home is really our business. Okay, you are a guest over here. So let's just make that very abundantly clear. We don't have a reason to look at you with envy. Okay, no reason at all. None of you that come over here, especially all of y'all that's coming over here from these third world countries, you do not have anything that we want or that we need. Okay, so I don't know why y'all keep trying to address us. You're the one who is perpetuating white supremacy by using talking points that to basically say that Black Americans are all just living off of welfare. Y'all act like we just got taken over here, dropped off, and just been lazy, kicking up with our feet up, with the government taking care of us for the last 400 years. Like we've done absolutely nothing for 400 years. Y'all act like we're trust fund babies that are just benefiting from a mammy and a pappy. I mean, let's be for real, sis. If you was really that hard working, would your country be fucked up like that? Would your country be full of garbage and trash where nobody seems to give a shit about what it looks like? I mean, at the very least, if you're going to blame the West for all of your downfalls and all of your problems, if you're going to say that it's the West's fault, at the very least, you could try to take care of it by picking up the garbage off of the ground. Instead of just trashing everything, but, whatever.
Well, guys, to be very, very sincere, can we be very honest to ourselves? What is the essence of this whole beef? This jealousy, these attack people, especially Haitians, or people who came under the TS program coming after foundational Black Americans, is what I don't really get the picture. It's like someone coming from Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, to settle in the US, and maybe you are told to return home. You are the first generation from your family, the second generation from your family. It's very possible for you to be able to trace your ancestry and to get back to your native place. This whole debate about foundational Black Americans not being, Americans, and the whole issue of tracing down the genealogy and trying to disprove the fact that they can be deported, for me is totally outrageous. And I think this is just coming from a place of bias and sentiment, and I could liken it to jealousy. Deport them to where? How can you deport someone who has lived thousands of years in a place before you came? like I said, if you do a proper historical background of every race and nationality, most places are product of settlers. And so people come into an environment, they settle, the environment becomes theirs, and over the years they build their lives over there. And so it is so wrong. I don't know why they're pushing the narratives. I think this is just coming from a place of hurt, jealousy, and disappointment. And the issue is that, ironically, most of these altercations that are coming online are coming from, ladies. Like the videos we shared, it's like it's the women who are talking, and when women are very emotional, they can throw tantrums. But I want to know what your thoughts, opinion are on this subject matter. If you're coming across my YouTube channel, you're welcome. Please hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, so that when I bring updates, you'll be the first to be notified. Please, guys, I want to appreciate you. You're the reason why I do what I do. Thank you for supporting me and showing me so much love. Trust to see you in my next video. Drop your comments and opinion in the comment section. Let's know what your thoughts are on the subject matter.